Preferences in elections can seem complex, but they're based on a very simple idea. When it comes to the two most popular candidates, the two with a chance of winning, which one do most voters prefer? The first thing to note is that those how to vote cards that the annoying people give out as you go in to vote are just a guide. They show how each of the parties would like you to vote, but how you actually vote is entirely up to you. And when the media talks about preference deals being done between one party and another, those things are just for the how to vote cards. You can vote however you want. When you get your ballot paper, it'll list all the candidates. There might be 3, there might be 10. Preferences work the same way, no matter how many there are. Let's use an example ballot with 4. Firstly, they go through and count the primary votes for each candidate, the people who put a 1 in their box. If someone has more than half the votes, they're the winner because nobody can get more. If nobody has half, as in our example, they drop off the party with the least votes and distribute their preferences. In our case, it's Party C, so they're dropped off and their votes are given to their second choice. Let's say that most of their preferences go to Party D, but some also go to the others. They're effectively saying, look, Party C just isn't popular enough, so they can't win. Which of the others do you prefer? There's still nobody with half the votes, so they drop off Party A and do the same thing. Now, some of these were votes originally given to Party C and then to Party A. Those people have their third preference. They may not like either of the remaining candidates much, but they probably prefer one to the other, and they're still getting a say about which of them they prefer. In our example, Party B wins the seat, even though they receive fewer primary votes than Party D. They won on preferences. It's important to note that the preference vote counts for just as much as the primary vote. It's not worth half a vote or something, it's a full vote. In Queensland, we don't have to use preferences. We can just put a 1 next to the candidate we want to vote for and leave it at that if we want. Or we can just put a few preferences. Most people either just put a 1 or fill in all the squares. If you only put a 1 and the party you voted for isn't one of the two most popular, your vote exhausts and you don't get your preference. This can make a big difference. In our example, if half the people just voted 1, the result ends up being different. If you vote for a smaller party or an independent, you're hoping they'll win. But if they don't, using your preferences lets you make a choice between the last two, usually Labor and the LNP. You might think it's the lesser of two evils, but it's your choice. And believe me, they'll notice. All the parties pay really close attention to the results, and if they win because of preferences from your party, they'll be pretty keen to keep you on side, so you might see their policies start to shift towards what you care about. One last thing. It's pretty common to look on your ballot paper and see names you don't recognise. How are you meant to know the best order to put them in when you don't even know who they are or what they stand for? But the thing is, it doesn't really matter. What matters is who you give your vote to, and then whichever of the two most popular candidates you put above the other one. So when you go to vote for whoever you want. And keep in mind that numbering every box gives you more say in who wins the election.